do you want?
To look at this happy holiday gathering of family and friends, you'd never know that 6 months from this moment,
39 tomorrow.
Missouri mother of 3, Jackie Waller, would be gone.
Hey, honey, get this message. Please call me. Nobody knows where you're at.
Lured to her fate.
When she went inside,
it was too late.
The prime suspect, a man without remorse.
I'm going to stand up in court tomorrow and tell everybody to himself.
It's a twisted game of cat and mouse.
He was playing with us the whole time.
And at the end of it all,
I had so much faith in the prosecutors, in the law enforcement.
the mystery of what happened to Jackie Waller
There was one tree within that area that was dead.
will be revealed in the most disturbing of ways.
You killed my wife.
To be that brazen after the fact, to write a book.
You took our mom away? You can't undo that.
Growing up, St. Genevieve, Missouri mom Cheryl Brennicky had trouble connecting with her younger sister Jackie.
I got married when I was 16 and she was 10. So I was busy starting a family, raising kids, and my children was just like irritating younger brothers and sisters to her. So we were never close.
But that would all change in adulthood when Jackie, then in her 30s and married to a man named Clay Waller, made an announcement.
When she learned she was pregnant, that's whenever we bonded. We finally had something in common. Then we were stuck together at the hip.
But it was also then that Cheryl started learning more about the man Jackie was about to make a father. He was a little awkward, but with Jackie, it worked to his advantage.
He had a speech impediment. She felt sorry for him. She said, you know, I'm an enabler and I'm codependent and I take care of him. I feel sorry for him.
Jackie's parents felt something else.
I always knew he was kind of a jerk.
And Dad, what did you think?
What did I think about him?
Yeah, what did you think
I
about
didn't
him?
like him the first minute I seen him. He was not compatible at all with my family.
But at least he seemed able to provide for their daughter. At one point, Clay was even a deputy for the Cape Girardeau County Sheriff's Office, though he only held the job for about a year.
Did you know him?
Yes. He kind of had a little streak about him that I didn't particularly care for.
What do you mean by that, a little streak?
He had kind of a deceptive demeanor about him.
After that, Clay jumped around from job to job. But then Jackie was a manager at a major insurance firm and perfectly able to provide for the family. One that suddenly included triplets.
Hi.
She just embraced it from the word go. I mean, we would be in the car with 3 screaming kids, and I would really be wanting to jump out, and she would just start laughing. She loved being a mother to those triplets.
If only they were the only ones who needed mothering.
She was taking care of her husband.
Oh, absolutely. It was just like having another child. I seriously do not think he changed one diaper. She would seriously get up 9 or 10 times a night and still work 40 hours a week.
After months, even years of that, Jackie started pulling away, spending more time with her sister's family. Of course, it wasn't just Clay's unwillingness to help that had her seeking distance.
She knew that he had a lot of affairs.
Did she ever confront Clay?
Oh, yeah. And she'd say, he denies everything.
But there were some things that Jackie knew to be true. According to her, Clay had become both emotionally and physically abusive.
She wanted to divorce. And
She told you that?
Yes. But she said that she had to do it slowly to get out of it safely.
The last Christmas that they were together, he came to the house, and I knew they'd been having problems.
Yes.
I said to him, I said, I'm surprised you're here. And he said, I'm hanging on by my fingertips.
You love your daddy?
It was the day before Jackie's 39th birthday, what was to be her last year of life.
That's for lip gloss.
Over that year is when things got worse and worse and worse.
As Jackie became more determined to leave, Clay became more unhinged.
He probably knew she was starting to move on her way. And as you know, now it's the most dangerous time.
The first 24 hours was the most dangerous, and that she had to be very careful and to form a plan.
Fearing for her life, Jackie Waller starts keeping a diary on her work computer of all the threats Clay was making towards her and her triplets.
39 tomorrow.
Starting from not long before that big Christmas gathering, they read in part, Friday, December 3rd, I told him that I was going to file for divorce. He said that he had a feeling that one of us would not be around to watch our kids grow up. Friday, March 18th, Clay told me that I did not deserve to live. He told me that a divorce would be my death sentence. And perhaps the most chilling entry of all, Wednesday, March 23rd, Clay told me that if he couldn't get me, he would kill our kids. He would take them for a weekend fishing trip, and then he would personally tell me they drowned so he could see my face.
Were you afraid for her?
Absolutely. We were sitting here one day, and she looked me square in the eye, and she said, Cheryl, I know what he is capable of, and I just don't want to be dead.
But then, a blessing in disguise. Going into that spring, Clay lost another job, and the couple lost their house.
She was like, oh, this is awesome. You get you a place, I'll get me a place. She just felt like everything was lining up for her break.
Are we having fun yet, Addie?
She took the kids, then 5 years old, and moved in with Cheryl and her husband Bob, while Clay moved over an hour away to Jackson, crashing in a house owned by a friend. Both Clay and Jackie moved on in other ways as well, both starting new relationships.
She thought he was accepting the separation, that he was going to be accepting the divorce. She said, I think we've really turned a corner. I really do.
All that was left to do was finalize the divorce, a process Jackie and Clay agreed to discuss in person just after Memorial Day, June 1st. Jackie's son Maddox had stayed with Clay over the weekend, and the plan was for Jackie to meet her soon-to-be ex at her attorney's office before picking up the boy. Jackie called Cheryl just after the meeting.
She said, I just left the attorney's office, and I'm pulling up to Clay's, and I'm going to grab Maddox, and I'll be on home.
The last time Cheryl would ever talk to her sister. Coming up,
I said, I am going straight to the police.
Final images of Jackie's last known whereabouts. Plus, blood in her car, blood in his car. But you won't believe where it came from or how it got there.
What did you find?
Well,
I finally said, Clay Waller, if I don't hear from my sister in 5 minutes, I am going straight to the police. And so, well, you know, the phone rings.